Got it.
Hold up, it's preparing. We're preparing
Gotcha.
to go live.
I see we're live on YouTube. That's kind of cool.
All right, we're live.
Oh, I could probably post them on Instagram.
All right.
Good.
Congratulations, guys. We are live on YouTube. Everyone should have gotten the alert. Very fancy. Hayden is
Our
upside down.
15 subscribers.
And with that, good morning to everyone. My name is Jeremy, hosting this very special edition of the Triple Threat Show on YouTube this time, joined by my two friends and co-hosts, Shane, who's over there, and
Hayden.
Hayden, who's actually up there, but
He's
like
right there.
hey, you ever seen Spider-Man, Shane?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I see it. I still have to see that movie.
I haven't seen Spider-Man.
I'm the only one who's seen it.
Yeah, everyone in my family except for me and my dad has seen it. So I'm down here with my family right now, and they're all like,
yeah. My mom spoiled it for me because she looked up the
cast.
cast. Yeah, she looked up the cast, and I'm like, no, don't tell me who's in the cast, because then I know if the other guys are in it.
Well, yeah, you should have known. I mean, it was
but
obviously
there's
the worst kept secret ever.
Well, yeah, I'm like so out of the loop with that, but like I ignore everything. So like I didn't know for certain because I know I'm gonna see the movie anyway, so I'm like not watching anything or looking up anything beforehand, just so I can have the full experience.
So I wasn't just spoiled the movie.
Well, we didn't really say anything outright. We just looked up the
spoiling.
cast.
Like I knew that was the thing before I saw it.
I mean, it's been a thing.
Everyone and their dog knew what was gonna happen. So bless you.
Bless you.
So how are your winter breaks so far?
Oh, the winter breaks? Pretty cool.
Mine hasn't even started.
No,
I've literally been working.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, over the weekend I worked.
Yeah. I was in Syracuse and I surprised my dad for his 60th because we were up there because my sister had a hockey tournament. He didn't think we were going to show up. So that was nice.
Ooh.
You just got like really loud there.
Yeah. Did we?
No, Shane did. Shane, you just got nice. I'm like, oh.
Dude, Shane got excited, you know?
Yeah, my dad's turning 60. He's almost old enough to get Social Security.
I mean, he looks really good
that's
for
really
his age.
something.
Yeah, looks phenomenal for his age.
Yeah,
he gets that all the time.
Yeah, I went to Florida to see my family, and then as the theme of the week, as you will see, is COVID outbreaks. My sister was a close contact, so that was a little scary, but she's fine. She was negative.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, so we're all good down here. You know, we're having a good time doing the show, which I'm very excited to get into, by the way. If you guys are okay with it, I say we hop right into
the Jmu Sports Report.
Jmu Sports Report. How about that? I'm all fancy. Look at me go. I'm all fancy.
I mean, it's the most pixelated.
Yeah.
Hey, don't come after my image like that, all right?
We're still a work in progress.
It's used on like all of our videos.
I'm already sad because I'm almost out of coffee.
Here,
but I'm
some.
also sad.
Here. Hand me the cup.
Yeah.
Yep. There we go. We'll trade. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
We got
Thanks.
Jmu Sports Report. You know, it's nice and fun. We're gonna start with the not fun news, though.
Yeah.
And that is the men's football team who finished their run in the FCS forever. Actually, they're done in the FCS, and that is both exciting and a little sad because they didn't go out on top. They lost 20-14 in the FCS semifinals to North Dakota State University on Friday night. Cole Johnson, not gonna lie, looked very bad. He had a very bad game. I don't know if you watched it, Shane, but I know me and Hayden were watching it.
I had to wake up at 4 a.m. for a flight, so I couldn't watch the game.
Right. No, it was not. It was not a good performance. It was. It really, you could see his lack of ability to read a defense. And because he was making reads that people that would be able to read a defense wouldn't have made. For instance, early in the game, there was a cover one, deep safety, which basically means there's a safety in the middle of the field, right? He's covering the deep guy. And they had two crossers on. They had a deep crosser and a more shallow crosser. The safety went to the deep guy, Antoine Wells, who incredible receiver.
Yeah.
He was double covered, blanketed by both guys. And there was another guy who was wide open about 10 yards underneath him. Can you guess who Cole Johnson threw the ball to?
He tried to throw up to his favorite target.
He did try to throw it up.
In double coverage.
In double coverage, in the end zone, and it was intercepted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In his defense, if I had a receiver like Anton Wells Jr., I would throw it up to him too, but not when there's a wide open guy.
And the thing is, it's not like you didn't see him because the wide open guy was literally crossing in front of Antoine Wells.
Yeah.
Like, here we go. We got Antoine Wells going like this. The other receiver was going like this. So like they were like right here and here. So he could see both of them.
Yeah.
You know? So
I think it's one of those things where he's got away with it all season because I've seen him throw a lot of deep passes to Anton Wells Jr. And I think against a team with the caliber of North Dakota State, you just can't do that. You can't get away with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Antoine Wells is one of the top receivers in the nation, honestly. He's awesome.
He's draft eligible, right?
No, he's a sophomore. You have to be next year. He'll be drafted.
Oh, we still have him for one more year? That's awesome.
Yeah. No, he's incredible. I honestly think he's going to get drafted. Absolutely.
For sure.
Cole Johnson, though, maybe not. Probably not.
Do we know who quarterback for next year is going to be?
So actually, it's pretty good. I'll get back to the game recap in a second. Looking to the future. National Signing Day was this week. National Signing Day, we had 19 people signed, and we got one quarterback. I'm not sure if he's going to be the starter because we do have other quarterbacks on the roster. And we also offered other quarterbacks that didn't sign here. Maybe they signed somewhere else. Maybe they didn't sign somewhere else. That's to be determined. 19 people signed on National Signing Day, one quarterback. Excuse me, I did not look into the quarterback at all because I'm not sure if he's going to be starting. But we did sign a quarterback on National Signing Day. Back to the game real quick. At the end of the game, first of all, we were down 13-0 at halftime. So that's never a good start. But we stormed all the way back. We took the lead 14-13. Incredible third quarter. Third quarter is usually where JMU sucks, but instead it was the exact opposite. They sucked in all the other quarters. But multiple times they got down, or not multiple times, near the end of the game with like 5 minutes left or so, they got down to the goal line. Cole Johnson had pressure in his face. He threw a fade up to Chris Thornton, the number 2 receiver on the Dukes. And he was under pressure, so it wasn't a super accurate throw. But the corner on North Dakota State made an incredible play. This man went up, snagged it, one hand, fell down. It was one of the greatest catches I've ever seen. I'm not going to lie. Good stuff, right? Yeah. Unfortunately, it was not good stuff because, that won the game for them. And I'm not super stoked about that, but it happened.
Yeah. But got to give props to the other team for making a good play, though.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's why I put it on there. It was a super awesome play. But, hurts.
One thing I like to say when I'm watching football is when a defensive player, drops an possible interception, I say, that's why you play defense. With a play like that, it's like, I wonder why this guy doesn't get more shots at wide receiver if he can go like that one-handed.
Yeah. But, season's over. And the team was very good. So as a result, they had a bunch of people named to All-American teams. They had 10 people named to the Hero Sports All-American team list. 6 to the Stats Perform, 4 to the AP list, and 1 to the ADA list, which is like the best. I thought AP was the best, but like, I don't know. Of course, Ethan Ratke. He was the one that was named to all of the lists, the only one.
Oh yeah. When you're one of the best kickers of all time in college football.
We talked about his records enough. He's played awesome, but like we've gushed over this man a bunch. I want to go to the other guys. Kyle Davis, long snapper. He had 0 bad snaps all season. So he's the guy snapping to the punter and the kicker. Cole Johnson, he's a Walter Payton finalist. 41 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. And on top of that, so this is something I found really surprising, right? And also like a little worrying. He led the team in rushing touchdowns.
Like, how many did he have? Like 4?
He had 6. He had 6.
Yeah, that's a little worrying.
It's a little concerning that he led the team in rushing touchdowns. Yeah.
Huh. That's very weird.
Mm-hmm.
They do like to pass a lot, though.
They do, yeah.
Because they've had a lot of touchdowns that were like just a deep pass that went all the way. Like they have a lot of big play touchdowns. So now that I think about it, it doesn't really surprise me all that much. It's kind of like the Chiefs where they're like at their own 40 or something, and it's just a deep pass for a touchdown. That happened a lot this year. So maybe it's like a case of that where they were just never close because they just had these explosive plays deep.
Right. Makes sense. It could absolutely be it. Yeah, so we also had defenders Bryce Carter and Diamante Tucker Dorsey, both outstanding defenders. Bryce Carter was ranked 12th in the entire nation for tackles for a loss, with 22 on the season. And he also had 9 sacks on top of that. And obviously Diamante Tucker Dorsey, who incredible leader, all-around defender, intercepts balls, forces fumbles, tackles, the whole gist.
Everything you want in a linebacker.
Yeah, exactly. Very good player. So, very good season for the Jmu football team.
And I believe their defense is very underrated because I know we like to talk about offense because it's the more fun thing to talk about, but their defense have played phenomenal this season.
Absolutely. Their defense is incredible. They're losing a bunch of major pieces this year, unfortunately.
Yeah, which is very sketchy, but
their defense is incredible. Yeah. Their defense is what carried the team most of the year. It wasn't really the offense. But on to bigger and better things, right? On to the Sun Belt Conference, on to FBS, on to bowl games.
Yeah, regardless of what happened to this season, like how it ended, they had a phenomenal season.
Absolutely.
It was very fun to follow the stories that were happening and just see Ratke beat the records, Cole Johnson nominated for the Walter Payton. It's been a phenomenal year, and I think it was a great way to end our time with the FCS.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Cole Johnson could still win the award.
Yeah.
Not certain he will, but he is still a finalist, so.
Yeah. My issue, like recency bias, though.
Right, yeah. I don't think he will, but.
Yeah.
I don't even know who else is nominated, I'm going to be honest.
Cole Johnson's all we care about.
Right, he's going to win in my mind.
He'll always be a winner to us.
You're right, he's not going to win. It's all right. I can think about it. Aiden, I have a question for you.
I have an answer for you.
Yeah, we have this really cool guy on our baseball team. His name is Chase Lauder.
Yeah.
He's pretty good at baseball.
Yeah.
And there was a list, a pretty big list that came up this week. And he was ranked in the top 10.
Mlb Pipeline?
Number 8 to be exact on Mlb Pipeline. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to talk about what that means? I know the other ones were big, but you were always talking about Mlb Pipeline as the biggest one.
So Mlb Pipeline is by far the most accessible, most well-known, kind of like it's like MLB's like own draft, like prospect list.
Reputable.
It's kind of like I mean, it's a parent, not like MLB is like the parent company for Mlb Pipeline, however you want to fix it. So like you're coming from like the people who should know the most about baseball. It's not always the case, but you know. And so to be number 8 on that list, I mean, yeah, it's not the number 1 that these guys were saying. They're obviously going to be a bit more conservative with their estimates on like rankings and stuff because they don't want to like be like, oh, this guy's number 1, and then he falls all the way down to like number 16, which you know you saw that kind of happen this year in the draft. So I think they're going to be a little bit more conservative, especially for a guy who kind of just broke out like just last summer. But I mean, number 8, that's a good place to start. You can climb up there really easily. You could also drop a little bit, especially with like the high school guys kind of having their senior years. That's where you tend to see people rise. Is a lot of high school like shortstops or arms will rise in the spring. But you know, it's a good place to be. Number 8.
Yeah, top 10's nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, there's only 7 better draft prospects better than you right now.
Absolutely.
7 people better than you.
It's like I can count that on my hand.
Yeah.
In a stacked draft class, no less.
Yeah, it's a pretty stacked draft class. I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous. There was a guy who last year, like at the beginning of the like college and high school seasons, he was like a top like 8, top 10 guy. He's now like ranked 42nd on this year's list.
All right.
But that's also because he didn't have a good college season last year. He was striking out a lot. So as long as, you know, Chase doesn't just strike out 45% of the time and he keeps doing what he's doing, that shouldn't be an issue, though, because I think from everything I've read, one of his best skills is like just putting the bat on the ball, not striking out. So if you can just keep doing that, they're in good shape.
Yeah, sounds like it.
We definitely have to go to a game this year.
Oh, we're going.
Sure.
Yeah,
as a
100%.
Multiple.
Yeah.
Yeah, their season starts in February. We're absolutely going. Shane, I'm not letting you miss a game.
Yeah.
We're going to every single game.
We're going to every single game.
I don't
going
care
to the
if you
road
have a
games.
hockey game.
Yeah, we're going to the road
If you
games
have a
too.
hockey game, you're going.
Shane, your games will be over by then. It starts February 18th.
I still have games till March because they're adding
early February.
They're adding more games to the schedule.
That'll do it.
They're trying to add more games to the schedule. No, but trust me, I will be there for a baseball game. Like, what better way to get into baseball than watching your own college produce a top 10 talent in the draft?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're gonna learn so much baseball, Shane.
Dude, you're gonna learn so much baseball, Shane.
Yeah, my mom was giving me so much shit because she played. Yeah, we can say bad words because we're on radio. My mom was giving me so much shit because I messed up a stat when trying to talk about softball. And she was like, how, Shane, how? I even do that. It's just like, yeah, Mom, I don't pay attention. I'm just still learning. But you know it's bad when your mom is giving you shit for not knowing baseball stats. But she used to play softball. Yeah. She used to play softball, and she's very knowledgeable. So
makes sense that she'd know stuff about softball then.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope that, you know, knew what batting average was.
I can't remember what stat I messed up, but yeah.
I think it was the batting average. I think you said on base of 360 was good or something like that.
And it's like, that's mid.
Yeah.
Like, that's so good. Like, but that's not like, oh, wow.
It's like the one show my mom actually stayed up to listen to was the one where she found why I screwed up. So yeah, thanks, Mom. Love you.
Hey, those are the best shows, you know? Those are the best ones.
See, I never messed up because I'm perfect.
Never. I've never seen Hayden mess up. Or Shane, for that matter. Actually, whenever Shane messes up, I just kind of tell him exactly what to say. Words right from my mouth.
Just Jeremy's perfect.
That's actually the exact opposite of what I said.
Yeah, he literally just set you up to say that this is the reason why you're not perfect on these shows. And you took that as, oh, Jeremy's perfect.
I may have not listened and interpreted that correctly.
Right.
So, any other JMU sports news? I
Oh,
saw.
there's so much more news. We'll start with the. What do you want to do? You want to do swimming and diving, lacrosse, or basketball?
Well, let's do lacrosse because I actually looked into that a bit because I used to play lacrosse. That's a sport I would like connect with more.
Right. So the lacrosse team, they came out with the preseason All-American roster. The Dukes had 2 people named to the roster, both third teams, defender Rachel Maddie and goalkeeper Molly Doherty. They're both named to third team All-American preseason rosters. So,
Yeah. Shout out to the defensive players.
No.
Did you have something for that, Shane?
I briefly looked into their stats. Goaltending for lacrosse, I believe a good one's like a 0.6 or a 0.5 save percentage. So I really have to like see how the season progresses just to understand the team more. I really like the defender though, because that's the position I play. Just seeing all like refreshing myself on the lacrosse stats, like turnovers, cause turnovers, ground ball possession, all that stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, this was my specialty back in high school.
Absolutely.
And then COVID ruined my senior season.
Oh, you're a ground ball hitter?
No, because ground ball is when the ball is
It's
like
on the ground.
Is on the ground and you pick it up. Yeah, that was like my specialty. Because my teammates would always say it's because you play ice hockey, so your hand-eye coordination down low is really good. So, and I have like a 6-foot pole, so easy just to pick it up and just pass it off to the. Oh, get your heads out of the gutter! Wow.
Well, look.
What's so
funny?
funny?
First off, you were like, I got really good hand-eye coordination down below. You know?
Yeah.
Immediately
I'm good at
I've got a 6-foot pole.
I'm good at handling balls and a stick.
Down low, yeah.
Yeah, you really got to create the balls in lacrosse.
Okay.
Thank you, Shane.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
As a defender, you also got to spear them with your stick too.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, now you're
all
just
of the
like
fun
going,
references. Yeah.
It was fine. Like it was a nice, clean joke, and then you just went all the way in there and just kind of absolutely.
Well, because there's so many bad jokes you can make with hockey and lacrosse, so I thought I might as well throw all of them out there.
Absolutely, you hit them all at once. No one can do anything about it.
Something like that.
All right. Women's swimming and diving. You want to do that one next? I want to do that one next.
Okay.
Abby White, diver on the team, was named Rookie Diver of the Month for November. We got big claps now. Big claps. I'm a little bit confused, honestly, because not to take anything away from Abby White, but we only had one competition in November.
Was really good that one competition, I guess.
Yeah.
I
guess so.
Have you guys met anybody who's JMU athlete in one of your classes yet?
Yeah. I had a bunch of people from the field hockey team in one class, and I had Q Reed, the cornerback from the football team, in my class.
That's cool.
And also a backup quarterback.
I know I'm a better athlete than all of them, so like I just don't
even care. Damn.
Yeah. Let's go.
Someone's gonna come in and just get really mad at Hayden one of these days.
Oh, I mean,
that's your job. That's your job, Shane.
Yeah, your job is to be mad at me.
Yeah, the amount of there's sometimes when you say that I'm like, I don't know if I should say anything. Is the amount of it's kind of disrespectful because it's just the amount of I don't know.
Well, I mean, they look at the man, I know. They look at the man and they know he's joking.
Okay.
I mean, it's the I paint my nails. As a man, I hope they're a better athlete than me. Nothing against painting your nails as a dude. Just saying.
Or woman.
But there's a stereotype there
yeah.
among men who paint their nails, and that is that we are not freak of nature athletes.
Yeah, I had a few athletes in my cob, and it's funny because the both of them that I knew of, they transferred out of the major because It's the Cobb major, College of Business. Everyone.
Oh, man, they didn't want to watch Wolf of Wall Street every day
It's
for homework.
No, they don't want to take business analytics and accounting, which those
accounting.
classes. Ugh.
Dude,
1, 2, 3. I passed accounting.
Hey, let's go, Hayden.
Let's go.
Guys, I have a preposition for you so Shane doesn't get too mad.
Yeah.
Why don't we move on to
Preposition?
basketball?
Okay, let's go. Basketball.
Basketball. Start with the women's basketball. You know, they ended their 5-game losing streak. They did it. The 5-game losing streak is over. They beat George Mason on Monday, 69-61.
Nice.
Ending their record now, 4-7. But you know what? It doesn't actually. It matters a little bit. Never mind.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It wouldn't have mattered in any other year because they're starting their CAA schedule next game.
Wait. What? So like nothing mattered technically?
No. So you know how there's a conference record and a
okay. So,
and a record.
Yeah.
If you sweep the conference, you get first place in your conference, and then you win your conference championship. You get an automatic bid, right?
Yeah, but they're still eligible.
We cannot get that. We can't get that automatic bid. That's why I took it back immediately after I said it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So actually, it does matter a little bit.
Because I thought the league that shall not be named fucked us over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did. It really did.
And this is what I have to say about it. Oh, they censored me.
The censored hammer.
They censored me. This is censorship by the CAA.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Oh, you said the league that shall.
We say it all the time.
We used to say it all the time.
I said it in my last sentence.
I
the band
refuse to
hammer.
acknowledge it.
Did you just throw the hammer, Hayden?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There goes the security deposit. Yeah, there goes the security deposit.
That's what got rid of the security deposit. Okay, yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. It wasn't something else in the sink, maybe.
Oh yeah, garbage disposal.
It doesn't work anymore.
It straight up doesn't work.
Did you get someone to call over and fix it yet?
No, I was because I'm leaving like right after I get off work, so I'm just gonna do it when I get back.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was their first win on the road, and they came back from a little bit of a deficit in the first half, putting up 45 points in the second half. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, that is 45 points in the second half. That means that they only scored 24 in the first, which isn't particularly great. But you know what? It's fine because obviously they came back and they won, and we appreciate that about them.
Good for them. Ending the not hot streak. What's the opposite of a hot streak? Cold streak. There we go.
Yeah, they snapped their skid, and it's awesome to see. But on to less fun news. As I mentioned at the very top of the show, COVID outbreaks and COVID are the theme of the week. In the men's basketball, they were supposed to have a game today. Unfortunately, it was canceled due to a COVID outbreak on the other team, Morgan State. So that game is canceled. Postponements are possible. They do not know anything yet. Next Tuesday is the next game is next Tuesday, and that's at 10. So wash the slate clean, take a rest week, heal up. No one's 100% healthy all the time.
Enjoy the break.
Absolutely. And that's what I got for the Jmu Sports Report. I don't know if you guys want to move on to, let's say, hockey or something.
Let me get something to drink because my throat's very.
Okay, I got
just
you.
Right now.
I
Thank
will
you.
give the quickest baseball talk ever.
Yeah, I'm gonna go downstairs and get something to drink real quick so my throat isn't screwed up for this entire recording.
Isn't there a good amount of baseball though?
What?
Isn't there a good amount of baseball stuff?
I think there's only 2 things. What am I missing?
Hold on, let me go to my notes.
Because I have 2 managerial hires, and that is the only like big news.
Two managers, the MLB and the MLBPA, they met for the first time on Thursday.
Okay, that doesn't really matter. Nothing's coming out of that.
There's minor league teams suing the MLB.
Oh, that is big news. I didn't see that.
And the Guardians catcher died.
Yeah,
The
that was
minor league
sad.
guy.
That was
Yeah.
really sad.
I don't know if you want to go into that now or if you want to wait for Shade to get back.
I mean, it's not bad. Yeah. I mean, he was a young prospect. I think he was only 20, or 21. He was in his early 20s, and he unfortunately passed away. I never saw them release the cause of death, but I mean, that doesn't really matter in this situation. It's just really sad to lose someone who was really good at baseball, or just someone in general, you know? It's never good to have somebody die that young.
Yeah.
It's just quite unfortunate. Yeah.
All right. Let's
Kinda
just
sucks.
you want to do the whole baseball thing now?
I can do the rest of the baseball thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get into that. All right.
So we'll start with the A's. The A's signed Mark Kotze, I believe is how you say his name. He was a bench coach for them back in 2015, 2016. Then he moved over to like a quality assurance coach type thing, like just a general minor league coordinator type role. And then last year he was their third base coach. But with Bob Melvin leaving to the Padres, they need a manager, and so he is stepping up. He's a former MLB outfielder, so he's got big league experience. So it's not like a Jace Tingler like hire, if that makes sense. It's just a guy with big league experience, So I mean, I think this guy is the next. I don't think he's gonna fill Bob Melvin's shoes. Bob Melvin's one of the greatest managers in baseball right now. I'm just sitting here thinking about that. American League's got so many great managers.
Yeah.
Lost one, Melvin going to the NL, but he's not going to be the next Bob Melvin. He's not going to fill Bob Melvin's shoes at all. But I mean, it's baseball. We know that as long as what were you going to say?
Sorry. I'll let you finish, but real quick, you said this was a hire in-house, right?
Yes.
That, from what I've seen in most managerial searches, doesn't happen that often. Am I wrong in thinking that, or is this something that is more what's the dynamic there? I guess.
I mean, I think it depends. I think it's like there's some organizations where they very much have their ideals, like their ideas, and like how their philosophies kind of instilled at each tier, right? And those kind of organizations do hire in-house a lot. The Cardinals did that after they had released Mike Schilt earlier this offseason. We're seeing the A's do it now. If the Rays, for whatever reason, ever decided to get rid of Cash, they would do that. Those types of things, they tend to go in-house. I think the Mets aren't one of those teams. They hired in-house recently before the previous guy, not this new guy that we're going to talk about in a minute. But I don't think it's super uncommon. Big market teams like to go after that, like, non-in-house guy.
Right, because I mean, most of my experience with manager searches are with the Nationals, and they barely ever
Well, that's because
hire in-house.
The Nats player development program is where they're lacking. But they're overhauled it this offseason, so maybe it'll get better. But yeah, I mean, this isn't a bad hire. This isn't like there's really not that many great managers out there that are just walking around. So I mean, I don't hate it. This guy probably won't be like a clubhouse cancer, kind of like the Padres had. So, and that's all you could really ask for. So yeah, congrats to Mark on the promotion. Let's go. I can't snap right now. My nails are too long.
Ah.
Yeah. And what?
I don't know how nails being too
Listen,
long affects your
listen,
snapping,
listen.
unless you got like those claws like some women have.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know. Yeah, but
They're
yeah.
8 feet long right now.
That's pretty impressive.
Thank you. And the Mets, they hired Buck Showalter.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
That name sounds really familiar. I don't know why. Because I don't remember what he did, but that name sounds really familiar to me.
He was the Orioles and like really good with the Orioles for a long time. He's managed for 20 seasons. He has a Manager of the Year award for 3 different teams. This guy's pretty good. I know Max Scherzer was definitely like, guys, I want Buck. And so
All right.
that definitely helped.
That's a good choice.
Good reason to go get Buck Showalter.
I'd say.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say.
Any updates? Okay.
He's just a Hall of Fame manager who they're going to have for the next 3 seasons. So congrats to the Mets. But I still feel like the Mets are going to met this somehow.
Dude, the Mets are always
something's
going to
go wrong. Something's going to go wrong here. Like they're going to literally bring in the best of the best, and they're still not going to make the postseason.
The Mets will met until they won't met anymore. No, we talked about this, right? With the expanded playoffs, they'll make the playoffs and make it to the World Series as like the last seed in the NL.
And then they'll lose to like the Mariners.
Yeah, something like that.
Because, go Mariners. Go M's.
Right.
I can see him. Wait, yeah, I can see him right there on Jeremy's.
That's the Marlins.
No.
Oh, the S. You said
Below
M.
Cincinnati. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I see him now. Yeah.
I see their logo.
Did I miss the CBA talk? Like, any progress in that? Or
They met.
all
They
right.
met on Thursday.
Nothing's gonna happen for at least it's not until New Year's. Anything's gonna happen.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought we were waving, Jeremy. My bad.
No, you're good. I just had family in the room. I was gonna say hi to. I did say hi to them.
Congrats.
Good to hear.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're saying hi to your family. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much it. Baseball, nothing really going on.
Well, I mean, real quick before we move on, minor league teams suing the MLB. Nah. All right.
I mean, we can. I mean,
the reason they're suing them is different than other things. They're suing them because these 4 lost their big league affiliates over the 2020 season.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I mean, basically, the big league team was like, "I'm done with you," kind of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go for it, Hayden. So they completely restructured the minor league system before this offseason. The offseason before this, where every team put in a bid for a team, and if you didn't get a bid, you kind of just hey, sorry, you don't have a major league team providing you players anymore. And so a lot of teams that have, none of the historic franchises lost their major league affiliates, but a lot of teams lost their big league affiliates and just completely made that business completely unprofitable and unreasonable, because a big draw is you get to watch tomorrow's stars play in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
And so they kind of just were like, hey, you don't have a big league team anymore. And a lot of teams lost. And a lot of teams that had made big deals. I think the Nats and the Rochester Red Wings had made a deal. And I don't even remember if they're their AAA affiliate anymore. It's a mess. The minor leagues was a mess for a long time. I don't like that they did what they did, but I understand why they did it, and they didn't really do anything to help the minor leaguers for it, which kind of is like my big issue with the way they
So
did.
was the lawsuit warranted?
I don't know. I don't know
was
the
it-
details of the lawsuit, Jeremy.
I'm assuming the details are I also didn't look too far into it, but I'm assuming the details probably have something to do with the fact that it was a pandemic and they couldn't deal with the losses of the MLB team and the pandemic at the same time or something similar to that. I don't know, because it was all teams that lost it last year, you know?
Yeah.
And generally, when you're talking about last year, again, we circle back, has to deal with COVID. Theme of the show.
Yep.
I don't know if
So-
I'm right in assuming that, Hayden, or if I'm completely out of touch there.
No, I mean, it sounded right.
Cool.
So do you want to go
Yeah.
into hockey now?
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know. Is that what you got? You
Well,
wanna
because
that-
speaking of
I-
lawsuits, we have
lawsuits?
Kyle Beach
Can you
news.
sue me? Oh, sorry. That was completely inappropriate. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So Kyle Beach, of course, the victim of the sexual assault cases for the Chicago Blackhawks back in 2010. He and his camp reached a settlement. I couldn't find a number, but it's like probably gonna be multi-million dollars depending on how much they compensated him for the career he could have had. So he could have been like a career bottom six guy or third line guy making 2 to 3 million a year for 5 years. So I'm ballparking at least between 5 million to $10 million range. If I had to guess with how much, he definitely got millions, definitely got millions, but especially with how public it is. And now that this case got settled, the high schooler who Brett Aldrich went on to sexually assault after the Blackhawks, raped after releasing him, their family is now working on the settlement and hopefully they can get a fair compensation for what happened because of Chicago's negligence. In other news, to more things that are less daunting, Robbie Fabry got a contract extension.
Who's that?
He is a forward for the Detroit Red Wings. He's not a
point. We got a point on the screen, Jeremy.
There we go.
Yay!
I'm still trying to figure out where my finger goes on the screen. The Blackhawks are over here.
That's
A
the
li- a
Florida
little-
Panthers.
A little more to the right and a little up.
So my screen is not mirroring for some reason, and like there you go.
You're
It's
you're
up
close
there.
enough, yeah.
My finger's getting cut off, but like it's up there.
Oh, Jeremy has no finger. He's a four-fingered
Yeah.
man.
No.
Yeah, so Robbie Fabry was a big-ish extension. He was traded from the St. Louis Blues shortly after they won the Stanley Cup in 2019. He's like a middle six forward, solid second line, third line guy on a contender maybe. He's not having a phenomenal season. He's doing okay. I'm not really sure why Detroit gave him this contract. It's a bit of an overpayment because $4 million is a bit much for a guy who hasn't been having that great of a season.
4 million.
$4 million a year
Okay.
for 3 years.
I mean, is he like a big locker room guy?
Could be, but
That might be it.
but $4 million for a locker room guy isn't
I mean,
really.
he's a locker room guy who's a solid back end of the rotation, so to speak, guy. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd pay that.
He's one of the older players in the locker room because they're a very
Also-
young team that's rebuilding. So it may be just that veteran presence.
Yeah, I mean that's important.
Hockey
That's super
contracts are a
important.
lot smaller than baseball or football or
Oh,
basketball.
I'm aware. I'm aware.
Yeah, because $4 million. That is nothing to. That's a large amount of cap.
I mean, it's a veteran presence thing. If they're a rebuilding team, they're probably not going to be adding a ton of big
Yeah.
contracts.
Like they have
I mean,
tons of cap space. They have tons of
They're
cap
absolutely
space.
rebuilding.
They have tons of cap space. They're looking very promising this season. Like Lucas Raymond is like a 4th overall pick. He's looking phenomenal this year, and they're only going to get better.
Yeah.
They definitely have enough cap space to not care about it. So it's not a big deal, but it's a bit of an overpayment, but it's not going to affect them that much.
It's definitely like, okay, we have all this, like, we want to hit the floor, right?
Yeah.
And so they got to hit the floor. So let's overpay a little bit. And having that kind of player on your team, especially a rebuilding team, that kind of like teach your youngsters, like, oh, this is how you play NHL hockey. Like, this is how you go about things. This is how you, like, you know, respect people and things. That's important, and I think in all sports. And, you know,
I say that I think he's like mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
So but for a young roster, he's definitely one of the older guys and a leader on that team.
You gotta teach people how to be professionals.
Yeah. And also being a Stanley Cup champion probably helps.
Oh, absolutely.
Even a small role for a Stanley Cup champion, but still
a role nonetheless.
Yeah.
He's on a team that when the playoffs had success, he knows how to deal with that. That's something a lot of people can struggle with in any sport. It's Haiti.
The end deflated, so it's just Haiti now. You can see it, right? Oh wait.
That's good.
That's a tiny end.
Yeah, it's tiny. Okay. Bro, I don't know how to work these things. These cameras are trippy, man.
Absolutely, I understand.
In other news, Paul Maurice, the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets, resigns. He was the second longest serving head coach.
I can't find the Jets. Hold up. Am I on the Jets? I found them. Never mind.
Oh, there they are. They're in the bottom corner. Yeah.
There they are.
Oh, it's in alphabetical order. All right.
Question.
Yeah.
I know we talked about this last show. Does this mean the Jets are making the playoffs?
Maybe. Who knows?
I mean,
we're just
so
adding
many
to
teams.
that statistics. Yeah. That are firing their head coach mid-season.
Me and Hayden had a question too.
Fired.
Does
he didn't get fired. He resigned. So
it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Does firing a GM count?
No, firing a GM doesn't count.
You sure?
The head coach was the only.
Quack, baby.
I didn't know any correlations with GMs, unfortunately.
Well, there's about to be one now. Quack, quack, baby.
Sorry,
didn't he technically resign because of?
No, they fired him.
All right.
I mean, he was under investigation.
Yeah.
They
he resigned because he was under investigation, and then they fired him. Yeah. Anyway, Paul Maurice, 9 seasons with the Winnipeg Jets. He coached them pretty early on when they relocated from Atlanta to Winnipeg. He coached them through the times they were contenders when they made the Stanley Cup semifinals in 2018 before they lost to that inaugural Vegas team. So pretty good coach. He definitely has tons of options if he wants to coach again with all the firings going on. He had tons of class because he resigned because he said the players weren't hearing him in the locker room. They need a new voice to get them going. So just the amount of respect I have for this man to recognize that they're not they need a new voice to get them going. And he's been with them for 9 seasons, so it's probably about time. And they're not having a great season. They're outside of a playoff spot, and this team should definitely be in the playoffs because they have a super talented offense. They have one of the best goalies in the league. They just definitely need a new voice to get them going, like what's going on in Vancouver.
Yeah.
So have you seen that in other sports where a coach just resigns because he flat out admits, they need somebody else?
Mm-mm.
Tons of class, tons of respect for that guy.
Oh, absolutely. That's a big move.
Because something you wish to see more of in sports is accountability and just the honesty just to admit, they just need a new voice. I just can't reach them anymore. That's tons of respect.
Yeah.
I was really frustrated with this guy because Nikolai Ehlers, super talented forward, he wasn't getting put on the number 1 power play with Mark Scheifele and Kyle Connor and all of those guys. So that just doesn't make any sense to me. So to put all your best players on the ice at the same time, because that's what makes your power play good. So we'll see what happens with Winnipeg. And speaking of the other team that was doing good after getting a new head coach, Bruce Boudreau, still undefeated as the Vancouver Canucks head coach. It's right in the bottom, right next to
Yeah,
Vegas.
my hand is right over it.
He extended his win streak to 6 games. Unfortunately, we can't see how long the streak can continue because of the COVID extension. But Vancouver looks like a completely different team now, and I believe Bruce Boudreau and just having that new voice in the locker room has a big part to do with it.
Yeah, it's always about those head coach games. Generally, I mean, in the NFL, when you fire your head coach, until this week, I had never seen a team after firing your head coach lose a game the next week. Until this week, of course, and we'll get into that later. But
yeah. So I haven't told you guys, I've actually met Bruce Boudreau before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his son was coaching the Norfolk Admirals, which was a ECHL, like a minor league team for a bit. And he had this hockey camp. So because we sort of like knew through people in the rink, we got to go to his hockey camp, and his father was going to be there. And he was head coaching the Minnesota Wild at the time. And I just remember during the scrimmage, like I scored the game-winning goal with like 9 seconds left. And then I met him afterwards. He's like, yeah, that was a pretty good shot. So I was just like, oh, big ego. Just always a moment I'll hold dearly. When an NHL coach tells you that you had a nice shot.
Yeah. It's a shame you were playing against 9-year-olds last year.
You can never let me have any happiness, can you?
No, I cannot.
I think you're just jealous.
I am very jealous.
Yeah.
So I don't know who this guy is, but I wish I met him first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So phenomenal guy. I heard the guys love him. Just funny guy on the bench. Just very honest, very easy guy to play for. And unfortunately, we can't see his win streak continue because of COVID.
The theme of the week.
The theme of the week. Let's get into that discussion right now. The NHL has postponed games until the 27th.
Sorry.
Because
the NHL.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Who said what?
What did you say?
The NHL's postponed games till the 27th. Because teams were shutting down left, right, and center because Colorado had an outbreak, Calgary had an outbreak, everybody was getting an outbreak. And they were just like, all right, just shut everything down and we'll just have everyone just figure their stuff out, get healthy, and then we'll continue this on later. It'll be interesting to see how the NHL deals with this going forward, if there's a huge spike in cases, depending on how, what's the word I'm looking for? Contagious this virus gets. So I looked into the COVID protocol to see what determines it, and it's pretty much they get tested on a pretty regular basis. So it's pretty much if you get tested positive and if you're in close contact with if you're in close contact with somebody, you have to get tested before you can return to NHL play. So they are very strict with how they let players play.
Understandable.
Yeah. So despite all of the, why the heck are they even vaccinated and yada, yada. So I just want to shut down any arguments about what was the point of even getting vaccinated. The point of vaccination was to reduce severe cases of COVID, not to reduce the spreading of it. Because that's what the vaccine does. It prevents like guys from Marco Rossi, an NHL prospect, almost died because of the virus. And several other players had like major heart issues because of COVID, and who knows if they could ever return to hockey again. The vaccine helps eliminate the severity of how much the virus affects you. It doesn't necessarily decrease the contagiousness of
a little bit, not.
What I'm saying is, from what I've looked into, the main purpose is to reduce the severity of the cases.
Yes, that is. Yeah.
And with these new variants and this virus is just very contagious in general. That's what the masks and the social distancing are for. So it's just a very tricky subject when you're trying to control hundreds of players across 2 different countries.
Absolutely.
And with these ridiculous travel schedules, and they're trying to still be with family because mental health is also important, especially during a pandemic. It's just very hard to control all of this, especially with something as uncontrollable as a virus. And then per a source on Spit and Chicklets, they didn't say where their source was. They just said the NHL players are not going to the Olympics.
The NHL has until January 10th to opt out of Olympics
And
without financial consequence.
it is looking like more and more likely that that's going to happen, especially with how big the COVID cases are and how it's a lot of players are not enthusiastic about going to China with that 3-week quarantine. I know Connor McDavid didn't say anything about whether that would affect his decision to go, but he didn't seem thrilled about that. And if I was an NHL player, I don't know if I'd be thrilled about that either. Because despite all the, there's a lot of politics behind going to China right now. Because I heard in Canada, there's a bunch of issues that they don't want their athletes going because there's China's done some sketchy stuff. And I really don't blame players if they don't want to go. Robin Leonard already said it'd be bad for my mental health. And if I was an NHL player who has a family and I would have to be away from them for a month, and it just sounds miserable. And especially during a pandemic, I don't think I would want to go to a foreign country all by myself and isolate either.
Shane out here sounded like Vin Diesel.
What?
Never mind. Keep going.
Yeah,
forget it.
I don't know what you're trying to do, but that fell flat. Fell so hard. So what are you guys' thoughts about NHL players going to the Olympics with whole COVID situation going on?
I mean, Jeremy, you can go first.
You do you, man. You do you. I completely understand the concerns. I know it was a big deal, and a lot of players were fighting for the ability to go back. So I know a lot of players care because it's a good time for them to go and actually represent their country, which they can't do all the time,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people care about that. And I know it's an important issue to everyone, but also it's COVID and it's dangerous and there's lots of concerns there. I can see both sides of the issue. I really can. And it really just comes down to what you think is more important. The whole thing with China, I get it, but it's also the Olympics, so it's not going to be that big of a deal because everyone is sending athletes. I don't know why they would target Canadian athletes in general.
No, it's just I've heard Canadians are not enthusiastic about having their athletes go to China.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably overgeneralizing a bit, but yeah, it's just there's definitely some opinions out there that are not enthusiastic about sending American athletes over to China because of political reasons.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when we're talking about a country that puts Muslim people in concentration camps.
It's not a great country. No.
I understand. There's a lot of issues with China. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that before even COVID, that would be personally why I would not go. But to each their own.
Yep, to each their own.
So
it's
if it was
what I'm
any
saying.
other country, I don't think this would be as well. Yeah, I know it's a pandemic, but especially with China, with all the issues going on with there, it makes it that much more difficult to actually want to go. And you were saying that the NHL players were fighting for having the Olympics in the CBA. They didn't say they didn't plan. No one plans for a global pandemic, so that's
right.
I know they fought hard for this, but not to play during a pandemic where they have to quarantine.
Yeah, it's a lot more complicated than it would have been 2 years ago.
Yeah.
God,
so
it's been 2 years.
Yeah, I don't see NHL players going to the Olympics.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if a few people did.
Yeah, I don't see a lot.
So I don't think the NHL is actually going to pull out, but I'm sure most players are going to.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot more players just say they don't want to go. Because I think Erik Karlsson commented and something along the lines of I have a family. I don't want to spend all that time away from them. So I think we're going to see a lot more players publicly state that they're not going to play.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think the NHL is going to pull out, but I do think the majority of NHL players are going to personally say no.
And it's going to really suck because this may be the only chance we'll ever get to see prime Connor McDavid play with the twilight years of prime Sidney Crosby and the likes of Nathan McKinnon and all that. Like this is like the only scenarios where you get to see these super talented elite players of our generation play with each other. And it's sad to see we may not see that happen.
I mean, they can just make my fantasy team a team, and then boom, even better.
Just to bring some context, I was undefeated in fantasy, and then Hayden beat me this week because
Hayden's gonna beat me this week too because of the cancellations until Christmas, and I don't set my lineups on Monday.
Yeah,
and all of my guy that scored 3 points on my bench, and I'm losing by 2.
Yeah, my goalies really screwed me over this week, and all my good players got canceled because of the COVID. Because Morgan Riley was doing really well for me. I had Cale Makar. He was doing so phenomenal, and then Colorado had just shut down all those games. I had Nazem Kadri. So just all my big guys. Brad Marchand, Boston had to get COVID protocoled. So it's just all my good players were just gone. And then my goaltenders didn't do me any favor. They negative 10 points combined with both of my goalies. So it just wasn't a good week. And it looks like the same because I'm already losing this week because Cam Talbot led in 7. So I'm going to lose this week.
Jane, you had a 100% chance to make the playoffs, so you'll be fine.
Yeah. But in more positive news, the World Juniors are about to start. So we may not get the Olympics, but we can show our national pride by seeing the best prospects under the age of 21, I believe, or under 20 compete in this tournament. I think it's being held in Canada. And with a tournament like this, it's easier to create a bubble. So COVID
we could have played.
Yeah, Shane, you could have played.
I very much could have played if I was actually good at hockey.
We can all just start training right now. We'll make the team. I promise.
Yeah, let me learn how to stick handle on ice first.
No, Jeremy, what we're going to do is, you know how in the movies, the trench coat?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going to do.
Dude, we'd be a perfect goalie. We should stitch ourselves together and be a goalie.
Yeah.
Siamese twins.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know it.
Yeah.
That's us, baby.
That's us. Number 1 goalie in the league, Jer Hayden.
Yeah.
No, I would take your name.
Okay.
Just Jeremy.
Mm.
I'm just there.
So, of course, Canada's the favorite to win. They have Connor Bedard. They got Shane Wright, the next 2 first overall picks. Just goaltending's looking a little weak. Then we have USA. They were the previous winners, but their team doesn't look as strong. They're just not a lot of big names. And then Sweden and Russia, they have 2 of the best goalie prospects in the league. So that could help them carry on to a victory. And then Michkov for Russia looks insane. So big player for Russia, could play for the Olympic team if they don't allow NHL players. That'd be exciting to look to.
There you go.
Quick comment question.
Yeah.
Back to the goalie thing. Jeremy, what if we duct taped me around your stomach? So that you're like the blob?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Nothing would get by. Just because we're just so thick, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, I just was really thinking about this really hard while you're talking about how good Team Russia is going to be.
Oh, dude, I figured out how to use this green screen now.
So Team Russia, you think is Team Russia your early favorite, Shane, here?
I always want to say you can never count Canada out just with the sheer scoring talent they have.
But that's a bias thing.
Yeah, stop being biased, Shane.
It's not. It's not biased because Canada's always favored. The team is always stacked. They have the next 2 projected first overall picks. Kent Johnson of the University of Michigan, insane hands, like Trevor Zegras-like hands.
Oh, you should become a hand model.
Stick handling ability, yeah.
Okay. A star of adult films, then maybe.
Please don't go there.
Okay.
So Canada is just always going to be perennially favorited amongst the forwards because they have some of the most talented forwards in the league. But again, goaltending could easily screw that up for them.
Everyone knows the goalie is the most important position on the ice.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So if I had to pick a team besides Canada, I'm very biased here, but I'm going to say Sweden because Jesper Wallstedt is the Minnesota Wild's star goalie prospect.
Mm-hmm.
He was projected to be one of the best, the best goalie in the draft, and he fell all the way to like 20, where Minnesota picked him up. And he's
So why did he
played.
fall all the way to 20?
It's based off need because a lot of players really didn't need a goalie in their system. Because goalies, when you draft a goalie, you're expecting that guy to be in the league. They take a long time to develop, so you may not see him in 5 years.
All right.
Or 3 years at best case scenario. So it's just having to wait that long for that prospect to develop. And it was really surprising because Detroit drafted a goalie, but it was the second ranked goalie. Speaking of which, that's Canada's goaltender, Sebastian Cossa. The dude's huge, like Ben Bishop, like 6'7".
So if he lies down.
Yeah.
We're not doing this. Not doing this.
Yeah. So maybe Cossa could step up and be that goalie that Canada needs, but right now it's but Wallstedt's playing against better competition because he's playing in a professional Swedish league with grown men, and he's like a teenager, like one of the youngest goalies to ever play in that league, while Cossa is still only playing with players his own age. So of course, when you put up numbers against professionals versus young 20-year-olds, the professional league is just going to look better.
Absolutely. That makes perfect sense to me.
Just a little bit, yeah.
So hoping to see Minnesota Wild prospects do well. So if I just seen Wallstedt do well, that would be phenomenal for me. So it should be an exciting tournament to watch.
So like top 3 is Canada, Sweden, and
Russia, I would say.
Russia?
Just because they have the biggest name prospects so far.
Got it. America's like 8th place, maybe.
Probably like 5th or 6th. This team's just not as strong.
Hey, top 10.
Top 10,
yeah.
baby.
They're always going to be a top 10, but
there's only 9
there's only 10 teams in the tournament anyway, but the US, this team just doesn't look as strong.
I know that's why I said top 10.
Don't recognize a lot of the teams. I just don't recognize a lot of the players. Just not a lot of big names.
I mean, hey, that's prime to break out, look really nice on your little resume.
Oh yeah, like a lot of people hold this tournament like with such bias, even though it's not a good sample size. They just hold this tournament in high regard just because it's so fun and the spectacle.
Well, yeah, that, and you're playing against top players, like top prospects, top best players your age, and you perform well against them.
Yeah.
Who's to say you won't do that in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals?
It's true.
On the Anaheim Ducks. Quack, quack, baby.
Quack, quack.
Troy Terry, baby. World junior legend.
Exactly.
In the shootout.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And one interesting thing about the USA team, though, we probably should move on to talk about something else, but there's this guy named Niles or something like that. He's
Niles? He sounds Australian.
Let me look this up.
Jeremy, that's very offensive to Australians.
To Australians? Think when I hear the name Niles, I think of Australia.
Yeah. What about the British one? I was on One Direction.
Who?
Niall Horan
or whatever. But it's not Niall, it's Niles. There's the S.
Okay. Then yeah, never mind. It's allowed.
Matt Nyes. Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't sound anything like Niles.
Yeah, that's.
I'm sorry, Matt.
So anyway, he's another player from Arizona who's on the World Junior team for Team USA. So I just the Austin Matthews effect and having Arizona there, despite it being a not successful franchise, just the fact it being there has produced NHL talents such as Austin Matthews and this up and coming prospect.
Matt.
Yeah. Not as big of a player. I mean, not as big of a name prospect wise, but
yeah, Matt is like considerably
he's huge
shorter than
though.
Austin.
He's a second round pick for Toronto, and maybe we'll get to see him in the NHL someday.
Mm-hmm.
No,
right.
You won't.
No.
Calling it now. You won't.
Whoa! Hot take.
Hot take
alert. Hot take.
You know what else is a hot take?
No. But yes.
That's close. I was going to say basketball
Oh,
is
crazy.
is a sport.
Crazy that you would even assume that basketball is a sport.
I
You done
just
with hockey, Shane?
Yeah, I'm done with hockey. You can guys continue on with something else.
All right, we're on to
wow, that
basketball.
was you good, Shane?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. There's a good amount of basketball news. You want the good news? You want the bad news? You want
Bad
the COVID
news.
news? Bad news. Good choice, Shane. Good choice. Injuries happen. Injuries happen a lot. Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers, very good player, out for at least 4 weeks after an MCL sprain, which is like a knee problem.
I don't have those.
What happened?
I have no knees.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, no knees, McGee. That's what they call me.
That's what they call you?
Everyone calls me that.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I never believe this man.
Wow. Shane's
Shane,
really out here.
Shane, you and I are
Yeah.
roommates.
I know. And
Not me.
You
though.
believed me there, didn't you?
well, that's just a fact.
Oh, okay. Well, what if I told you that I really like your face?
I just don't believe in compliments whatsoever.
Okay. What
Yeah.
about insults? What if I just
Oh yeah, then I'll
degrading
take that
you?
personally and
I'll
think
just
about it
start-
at night.
I'll start degrading you publicly.
Yeah. Well, it's not like you've already done that already.
Have I?
I don't know. I feel like on this show you've done it a few times.
I mean, I it's all good banter. It's nothing personal.
Oh, I take everything personally.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
Oh, you're
realize
good.
that was a thing. Okay.
No, it's my own fault. I
What if I
internalize a
start-
lot of things.
But if I start commenting on Jeremy's elbows, would you believe me on that? Jeremy, your
I
elbows.
can neither confirm nor deny because I don't pay attention to his elbows that often.
Jeremy, your elbows.
These beauties?
Oh yeah, now I see him.
Those are some terrifying elbows, Jeremy. I wouldn't want to catch.
Oh
them.
yeah, you don't want to see him coming flying at you.
Oh,
In
yeah.
a dark alleyway, like just
How can you see him in a dark alleyway though?
exactly.
He's got night vision.
Those glasses have night vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
I mean
true.
aren't all glasses?
Mhm.
Oh, not mine. My glasses are shit.
Oh yeah,
Wait,
you gotta
Shane's
get those. You gotta
glasses?
get those upgrades.
Yeah. More of a contacts guy.
It's like
All right.
so. Oh wait, never mind. I was.
No, go
We gotta
for it.
talk. We should talk about.
No. Hayden, go for it.
You know, like how like the glasses they have the transitions for like they turn into sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
It's you have to pick one or the other, and so I chose the night vision ones.
Oh yeah, that was my mistake. I chose the transition
transitions,
lenses over the night
yeah.
vision. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta ask your eye doctor next time.
Or just get LASIK surgery to fix that.
I'm
Well,
not
that
sure if
doesn't
that'll
give
give
you-
you night vision.
I don't think that's how that works. I
The
don't
power of
think-
modern medicine.
Hmm.
Your vision just becomes so good you can just see at night.
I mean, I
Checks
used to
out.
take a potion.
Or is LASIK the one that gives you laser vision?
That sounds more accurate because it's
Yeah.
laser eye surgery.
Yeah. It just
I-
absorbs all of that power and just shoots it back out. whenever
Oh,
you want.
that's how the guy in X-Men did it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got LASIK.
You see, I thought it's because his dad
It's
shot
just a
lasers out of his chest. So like, how did that happen?
I mean, he clearly got a pacemaker installed.
Okay.
Oh, I thought he was just like a Pokemon, just use solar beam.
Okay.
Just absorbs the light and just shoots it out.
Yeah.
He just unlocked that ability once he reached level 20. Or
Got
just
it.
found the TM for it.
Yo, you reached level 20, Hayden. Congratulations.
Let's go.
Yo, my dad reached level 16. All the December
Let's
birthdays.
go. December birthdays are goated, man.
He received
That's-
progress towards the retirement bonus.
Oh. Did he learn any new moves?
No, but Social
Okay.
Security is getting closer.
Okay, I'll teach him a new move.
At level 65, you learn
Yeah.
Social Security.
Yeah. You receive a bonus every month from the government.
All right. All right. You want here's some more.
We're a
news for you
sports talk
guys.
show, yeah. What were we
Some more
talking
news.
about?
We're talking about
NBA. All right, gotcha.
NBA. Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie Irving. You remember Kyrie Irving? We had many discussions about Kyrie Irving at the beginning of the basketball season.
It's the best team right there.
It's
The Grizzlies. The Grizzlies.
no, we're talking about the Nets right now.
Oh, okay. The Mets got it.
Yeah, the Mets, the Brooklyn Nets. And Kyrie Irving, who famously is not vaccinated against COVID, they activated him as a part-time player. And what that means is that he can play road games. He cannot play home games. He can only play road games.
Would it make more sense to only play home games? That way you can be in a bubble? Because if you're in an away game, you're just exposing yourself to more people.
Game in a bubble, dog. No, because it's New York and they're strict about that.
Oh, okay. Because New York, the state of New York's like, no, you can't do shit.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
Yeah. So he's like, but you know what? He immediately entered into health and safety protocols. Theme of the week is COVID, baby.
Yeah.
Theme of the week is COVID. Theme of the week is COVID. We'll get to the good news before we get to the COVID news. Stephen Curry.
Oh, yeah.
Dude that's good at shooting three-pointers. Currently plays on the Golden State Warriors, which is a team that's oh my God, I wish I could get this right. It's down here.
You're blocking it out. There we go.
Golden State Warriors. He on Tuesday, I think. I didn't write down the day. But he beat the all-time record for most three-pointers in a career.
Sounds so enthusiastic about that.
I am so enthusiastic about it. It was super awesome.
As you say it through, you were gone.
No, I just woke up super early because I was preparing for the show until 2 a.m. last night. Yeah.
I was asleep by then.
Yeah.
I know. It's all right. So,
greatest three-point shooter of all time.
Greatest three-point shooter of all time. You good, Hayden?
Yeah. I just. Whoa. Look at that. That's wild. Whoa.
Wow. Our attention span for the NBA.
Sorry, no, it's just my attention span. It's
I see the mic just coming in and out of focus.
It's been doing that the whole time. It's awesome.
It's been like that the whole time.
It's the only time I've been paying attention.
The mic has been censored.
Yeah.
It looks kind of funny.
It's so funny because it looks like it's pulsing.
It is pulsating. It's censored and it's pulsating.
Oh man.
Dogs now. Anyway, he passed Ray Allen most three-pointers in a career. It was super. It was honestly a really awesome moment to watch. Basically, he made the shot. They stopped the game. You don't stop NBA games a lot.
Yeah.
He got to keep the ball, go. Ray Allen was actually at the game, so he went and talked to Ray Allen, which was super sweet, super nice. Actually, it mirrors when Ray Allen broke the record. The guy who held the record beforehand, Miller, I forgot his first name, but he was on the Heat at one point. He was good. He was also at the game, and he went up and congratulated him. So if someone ever breaks Curry's record, which I don't think they ever will, he's probably going to be at that game too.
Or not anytime soon.
No, not anytime soon. Because he's still got years to
pad the stats.
Yeah. And he's probably going to win MVP this year because he's by far the best player. It was awesome. It was a really nice moment. They stopped the game. He got to keep the ball, obviously. It was really nice. But on to the COVID news. We saw how COVID affected the NHL.
Yeah.
The NBA and the NHL are very similar leagues in the fact that they play at the same time. They both have teams in Canada.
Same amount of games played.
Yeah, same
Use
amount
the
of
same
games.
venues too.
Yeah, a lot of the same venues.
Like, have you seen the videos where they like go from a basketball court to an ice rink to a basketball court? Like,
oh yeah, those are so
those
cool.
are insane. Like having to get that done in like 12 hours.
Oh yeah, no, it's super cool. But like, I mean, they're very similar leagues. They operate very similarly, schedules and all that stuff. So COVID is also affecting them pretty harshly right now. As I mentioned, Kyrie, a bunch of star players are on COVID lists right now. So in order to fix that, the NBA and the NBPA, agreed on new COVID protocols through the holiday season, which is basically increased testing and increased mask use. That's just through the holiday season, so that because this is the peak time right now, And another part of that is NBA teams are allowed to sign COVID replacement players. So if people go get COVID, you're allowed to go sign players to replace them and go play, so you can field the roster kind of thing. So many cancellations of games. Excuse me. The Nets canceled their next 2 games, along with a few other teams. The Nets being the biggest one because they are a very good team. So, it's given other players chances to shine in roles that they wouldn't have otherwise gotten. There's a silver lining to that,
Yeah.
But I mean, you go to the NBA games to see star players. What you
100%,
do?
yeah.
Like, the only reason you would go to a Wizards game is to see Bradley Beal.
Not Kuzma?
Or the only reason, sorry, that's a bad example. The only reason you go to a New Orleans Pelicans game is to see Zion Williamson. Or the only reason you go to a Grizzlies game is to see Ja Morant.
Hey, yo. That's not cool.
Why? Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I'm just looking at the standings here real quick. They're 4th in the Western Conference right now.
Where are the Trailblazers?
10th.
That's because McCollum is out and so is Lillard. So
they don't even have a winning record.
Well, it's because they don't have Lillard or McCollum.
They're 5 games under 500. The Grizzlies are 6 games above 500, which means they are 11 games better.
Okay.
Quick maths.
No, that's not what that means at all. But
yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention to the math.
Oh, it was awful math.
All right.
Generally the worst math ever.
It's 5.5 games.
You would make a great accountant, Hayden. You probably could have done better in that class than I could because I can't add straight.
A 1, a 2, a 3.
Yo,
are you 100?
Are you the Count from Sesame Street?
No, I'm a Count. Get it? Because I said a 1, a 2, a 3.
Are you the owl from Tootsie Pop commercial?
A fool?
Mm-hmm. Good one.
Yeah.
Hoo-hoo.
Hoot hoot, baby.
The Canadian version's the A count. 1A, 2A, 3A.
Accounting.
Accounting, eh? What were we talking about? Oh yeah, we're
basketball.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done with basketball.
I think we should move on from basketball.
That's all that I got. I kind of stabbed myself with a staple remover.
That?
Yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah, self-harm isn't the answer.
It was an accident.
Jeremy.
That's what they all say.
Jeremy. The Grizzlies are winning their division.
Divisions don't matter in basketball.
Yeah, but the Trailblazers are 4th in theirs.
Divisions don't matter in basketball.
There's still a lot of season left too.
And Ja was out for a bit, wasn't he?
He was. He just came back.
Oh, yeah, he just came back, and they lost.
Yeah.
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 Could they lose against?
Oh, but look at the time. You see the time?
Yeah.
11:34.
It's NFL time. We're gonna go long.
Let's
because
go.
We don't have FCC on.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you want to get started with?
Dude, I want to get started with the NFL.
What specifically though?
Do you want to start with news or COVID news?
Let's just do COVID news. Just get out of that all
COVID
day.
theme of the week. COVID
Theme of the week.
Theme of the week.
Here, I'm gonna unplug my headphones for this.
Why?
I can't hear you, Jeremy.
Could you hear me, please? That'd be cool.
Yeah. Turn on your ears.
What are they saying?
All right, Hayden. I'm gonna do something crazy.
Okay.
I'm so confused.
he was like, hey, I'm gonna do something crazy. And then I was like, okay. After I said I had unplugged my headphones. Because I had unplugged my headphones.
He couldn't hear us, right? So I was gonna send him a message.
Yeah.
And he responded to me instead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You just had to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to be there.
You did have to be there.
Yeah.
Or live on YouTube, which we are. Actually, I'm curious how many people are watching.
With our one viewer.
Just one. It's just me. It's literally just me.
I mean, to be fair, we told nobody about this.
Yeah.
So.
It's fine. All right. Football. COVID news. Games were rescheduled. Games were rescheduled. Games were rescheduled. 3 of them to be exact. One of them happened last night. Do you want to know which one that was? That's right. You do. It was the Raiders versus the Browns. Oh, I pointed at the Browns. Oh my God, I actually did that.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Yo, I'm the best at this.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'm so good at this. Oh my God. I don't even think all the teams are. I think some of the teams are cut off here.
Yeah. 100%.
But it's fine. It's fine. That was pretty cool. I'm happy with that.
The Raiders won.
The Raiders did win on a last-second field goal.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. Cool. The Browns lost. It's fine. I don't mind. Anyway. Other games that were rescheduled will be tonight at 7. That is the Los Angeles Rams playing against the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington fail ball team versus the Philadelphia cheesesteaks.
They should change their names to that.
I mean, I even failed the name of the sandwich, but like,
yeah, playoffs is gonna be interesting to see who gets that final spot because it's just all these teams could realistically make it.
Yeah, they could. COVID concerns in the NFL. You know how most leagues are ramping up their testing and stuff?
Yeah, NFL's.
Well, the NFL was like, I see you, but we're better than you. COVID doesn't exist in the NFL. All vaccinated players don't need to be tested anymore.
They're doing the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Let's see how it happens. Let's see what happens. What could possibly go wrong?
Listen,
What could
I'm just saying, you can't have a COVID outbreak if you don't test anybody.
Exactly. The NFL is doing it right.
Think smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or if everyone gets COVID, then no one will get COVID.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They're all what was it that Rodgers said? He wasn't
immunized.
He was immunized. They're all immunized. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. They will be eventually.
Yep.
and we're talking about the Washington football team. You know their owner, Daniel Snyder?
Yeah.
That snake, that absolute buffoon, the guy that's
Guy who did iCarly?
no, Daniel Snyder.
Oh, yeah. I got you, Aiden. Okay.
Yeah, that was an okay one.
I actually
Anyways.
understood that. Yeah. What did he do?
So you know how there was an investigation
Yeah.
into the team last year? Roger Goodell, the commissioner, said they didn't do anything. He didn't do anything to interfere with it. But I think that's wrong. Because rumors are Dan Snyder has a blackmail list of every single owner in the NFL. I'm not even kidding. This is something that people actually think he has, and I completely believe them.
I'd be more
Because-
surprised if that wasn't true.
Right. This man would have been forced out of the league by now
Yeah.
if that wasn't the case.
Well, I feel
the
like all
owners-
the owners, they're multi-billionaires. You had to do something. I feel like every billionaire has done something sketchy to get that much money.
Right, but the difference is that Dan Snyder has compiled all of that information. He has something on all of them.
If I'm going down, you fuckers are going down with me.
Exactly. That is exactly it. He has them by the balls.
Those deflated balls.
Yep. Yeah, those old deflated balls.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's got it. I mean, it's there's nothing more about it.
Yeah.
He's got it.
That's so funny. I really hope that's gonna be true to me. Just imagine be like,
No, it is.
he has the
It's
red
like-
button. It's like, I'm gonna send out all the information. Don't make me do this. And the NFL is just like, yeah. Hey, calm down. Okay, we'll leave you alone. Just don't press that button. It's like, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Huh?
any more news or game recaps?
Oh, there's more news. Do you
Yeah.
remember how I mentioned a coach was fired? I
Yeah.
don't know if not
Oh,
on
yeah.
they're not on here. I'm so excited about this. I don't like to revel in people's downfalls that often.
This one deserves it.
Absolutely. A man by the name of Urban Meyer was fired from the Jaguars.
I mean,
this week.
Let's
man's
go.
putting it nicely.
Mhm. Urban Meyer is a
Awful
deplorable
human being.
human being. Deplorable, awful, shitty human being. So bad of a human being. One of the worst human beings, in fact. He, in his most recent scandal, the week of his firing, ex-kicker of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Josh Lambo, comes out and says, Urban Meyer kicked me before practice. A kicker needs to be able to kick. He got kicked in the leg. Yeah, and the kicker needs to be able to kick to do his job, right?
I wonder, how? Just, I don't know. It's just like, what kind of kick though? Was it just like a?
He said.
I mean, I can't.
He said it could have been worse if he really wanted to, but it wasn't just a nice little playful kick either.
Yeah. It's like, was he just
solid.
standing there and then he just went for the kneecap or like what?
I don't know. I don't remember.
It's a shitty thing. You don't physically assault your players.
Right, it's not okay.
That's the main point. Yeah.
Well,
It's just one of those things that's so out of nowhere. It's just like, who would even think to do that?
What were you saying, Hayden?
I mean, he does. He physically
Evidently.
assaults his players clearly, so somebody does. So you can't say no one.
Yeah. That wasn't his only scandal of the year. If you remember back earlier, he was out partying, and there was a little bit of situation where he had some fingers in a place where fingers shouldn't be, with a college-aged woman.
And he's married
Mhm.
for now, at least.
Mm-hmm. But also just going back to his college days, he covered up the sexual assault scandal at Ohio State. And he's retired multiple times due to health concerns when things start going bad for him. Retired, in quotes.
Yeah. And the Jaguars thought, this is our guy.
he is honestly an awful human being.
Yeah.
Like, there aren't a lot of people that I actually despise, but he is one of them. Yeah, I agree, Hayden.
My
I'm so
hammer's
glad he
got
got
your
fired.
name on it, baby. All right, watch out in Minecraft. All right.
And you know what the worst thing is? Quite honestly, he's going to get another job.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
He's going to get another job in college football.
That's depressing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just focus on the positives. At least Jaguars can finally take a breath now that the cancer's gone.
And they're not going to pay him for the rest of his contract because they fired him for cause.
He doesn't deserve it.
They fired him for cause because of the aforementioned physical assault of the player. So they don't have to pay him, is what they're claiming. I'm sure there's going to be a lawsuit or something, but
yeah, he doesn't deserve it. And thank God for Trevor Lawrence's development too, because I didn't want to see that talent get wasted for incompetent coaching.
Yeah.
Just a bad situation altogether.
But
like go ahead.
Sorry, it's just because of his he's success-wise on the field. He's one of the best college football coaches of all time. He's taken 3 programs from mediocrity or awfulness to the top of the world. With the resume like that, there's no way a college program doesn't hire him. Maybe not this year, but sooner rather than later.
I mean, how old is he?
He's like in his 60s. He's not young, but like coaches can coach for a long time, you know?
Give it like 5 years, he'll be back by then.
I don't even know if it'll be that long. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm just saying he'll be back by then.
Oh yeah, he'll be back by 5 years.
Because I mean, I don't know. I feel like a lot of programs are gonna wait a while.
They'll wait at least 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
I think by year 3 he'll start getting considerations again. So, come what may.
Speaking on a team with the other end of the spectrum, another rebuilding team has probably found their head coach of the future. The Detroit Lions in beating the Arizona Cardinals. He seems like the man for Detroit.
Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
This is the kneecaps guy?
It is the kneecaps guy.
The kneecaps guy.
Kneecaps guy.
See, that's actually how I lost my kneecaps. Was I got in a fight with Dan Campbell.
That explains everything now.
I'll never forget that name.
Never. Yeah, the Lions won, and they won big.
Yeah.
They
against a good team.
They beat the Cardinals convincingly.
Yeah.
Cardinals best record in the league, or tied for the best record in the league. And then they just lost to the Lions.
Yeah.
And I mean that just shows the NFL for you, you know, filled with parity.
Well, and then Detroit has beaten the Cardinals for every time in the past 5 years.
Jared Goff has. Jared Goff in his career has never lost to the Cardinals.
Oh, and
do you remember?
Detroit. Ever since 2017, they've beaten the Cardinals.
Really?
Yeah.
That's 2 things.
Yeah, I saw
Jared
the graph.
Goff.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one, but Jared Goff has never lost to the Cardinals. He was on the Rams. You know that.
Yeah.
He's never lost to the Cardinals.
It's just the equation set up for Arizona's failure.
Oh yeah.
Because undefeated quarterback, undefeated team for the past 5 years against your team, combined, just decimation.
Not a good sign. Decimation, exactly. Yeah. And they did it. They did it. Yeah. They
Good
did
for them. You can never.
I'm proud of the Lions.
Everyone feels proud of the Lions. It's kind of hard to hate on them just because they've been kicked to the ground so many times.
Mm-hmm.
They're a good team to root for.
Yeah. But teams usually that fire their head coach, I'd say every time the next week they win. It didn't happen this week. The Jaguars lost to the Texans. Generally they win. It fired coach, fight for your interim coach. Really reinvigorates the team. Didn't happen. I'm not complaining. They both suck, but like.
Yeah. I think the Jaguars are just so far gone at this point.
Mm-hmm. And I was watching a game last night, a Monday night game. It was the Vikings versus the Bears. Right?
Oh, what a game!
The Vikings won. And I'll let you talk about that, Shane.
Yeah. It wasn't a great victory. It was just the Bears just found so many ways to fuck up. It was just like turnover after turnover, and the Vikings didn't necessarily play well. They just made less mistakes than the Bears, and sometimes that's all it takes.
I just want to revert your attention to the score. Final score, 17-9. If you notice, that is an 8-point margin of victory. But the thing about that is, right? Yeah. It shouldn't have been that close.
It shouldn't have been. Yeah.
The Bears literally had 3 possessions where they were in the red zone in the fourth quarter alone. 2 of them didn't score. They scored on the last one because, as the Vikings do, they will not and cannot win a game or lose a game by more or less than 8 points.
They always got to keep it interesting.
It wasn't even interesting. The game was long over. It was a garbage time touchdown.
They just the Vikings they do what they do. Oh, and you were saying that the Vikings have no chance to make playoffs. They were showing the next 3 games we have to play. It's the Rams, the Packers. Right, but the next 3 games is the Rams, the Packers, and the Bears. So in order for us to make it, we probably have to win out. And that schedule just it doesn't make
me. One of those teams aren't good.
Yeah.
And it's the
Vikings. It's the Vikings, though.
That's going to be the only game they win. They lose. They're gonna beat the Rams and they're gonna beat the Packers.
They're gonna beat your boy Matt Stafford.
Look, Matt Stafford here's what's gonna happen. Matt Stafford is actually gonna get called off the field. He has to go deliver a baby. Okay. And then they're gonna lose the game, right? And then Aaron Rodgers is just gonna be awful, like he is, because he's just not good. And then the Bears, right? They're gonna turn. You ever see Power Rangers where the bad guy turns into twice the size, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the Vikings forgot their Megazords, and they're gonna get stepped on. Okay. And that's what's going to happen, word for word. If anything goes off script there, my sources have failed me.
It's true. Yeah. 2 more games to recap real quick. I just thought this was fun. The Titans game, they lost to the Steelers. There's a fun little stat there. I'm not sure if you've seen it, guys. No. Big Ben has never lost a game. It has never lost his next home game.
Never lost
after a live-action Spider-Man movie is released.
Wait. I did not expect this to go there. What the fuck? What kind of fucking stat is that? Who the fuck was I'm noticing? How do you notice something like that?
It was from Bleacher Report. Thank you very much. It's a reputable source.
Who found that? That man, how?
I don't know. I found it on TikTok from some dude, but it was a Bleacher Report graphic.
He's been playing for a lot of time, and there's been a lot of Spider-Man.
Let's run through these games real quick. If Hayden, you want to pull up the Spider-Man live action movies for me while we do this?
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Which one am I starting with?
We're gonna start in 2004.
2004. So that's gonna be Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2, 2004. First win. He beat him. Then we go to 2007.
That's Spider-Man 3.
Another win. We're gonna skip ahead to 2012.
That's
which
the
I believe is
Amazing Spider-Man.
The Amazing Spider-Man. 2014, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Skip all the way up to 2017, and then 2019, and then 2021, which is the Tom Holland trilogy.
Yep.
All combined, that is 7-0.
That is the most ridiculous stat I have ever heard.
I mean, that's the only stat that really matters.
It's the most phenomenal stat I've ever heard too.
I think Big Ben should be. I mean, he should be unanimous Hall of Famer just because of the stat. How many like QBs are 7-0 on days that live-action Spider-Man films were released? I'm assuming he lost the game after Into the Spider-Verse came out.
I have no idea.
Okay. Here we gotta figure this out right now.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's Spider-Verse because it did say live action.
Yeah. So he probably lost after.
He probably lost that one. So wait, no, this is not Spider-Verse 2.
Well, he's doing that. No, it's fine. Let's just wait for this.
No. Go ahead. It's fine.
The Bucks got shut out.
Yeah.
On Sunday Night Football. The first time that Brady has been shut out in almost 200 games. So that's pretty impressive. First of all.
And then all of his weapons were injured too, though.
Yes, all of his weapons. Chris Godwin, unfortunately, out for the season. Mike Evans, bad hamstring. I have no idea what happened with Leonard Fournette, but he didn't look too good either. He got hit, stayed on his feet, and then got hit again, and needed 2 trainers to help him walk off the field. So, not very good.
Yeah, not very good for my fantasy team either. I was watching that game. I'm like, I'm screwed.
He lost by 3 points.
Hey. Who did he lose to?
The Chargers.
Makes sense.
Back in 2018. That would have been really funny.
Every Spider-Man movie.
Every Spider-Man movie. The Pittsburgh Steelers just start cranking out Spider-Man movies. Cranking them out. He plays for the Steelers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure I'm not going crazy here.
That's what I got for some football, But it's time for my favorite segment.
Oh wait, I'm not prepared at all. Okay.
You're not prepared?
I'm not prepared.
For my favorite segment of the week?
I'm not prepared. I'm gonna be honest, guys.
My favorite segment of the week that we're gonna do on the fly anyway.
On the fly anyway. Okay.
Hayden's question of the week. Take it away, Hayden.
Hello, everybody. I'm Hayden. And welcome to Hayden's question of the week, where I'm not stalling at all. I pinky promise. This is how long the intro always is. It's always super drawn out, so that way we can fill our airtime. Because that's the whole point of the segment, is to fill airtime. Because, that's the whole point in any segment in our show, is to fill airtime. Because
we're like 20 minutes over. We need to fill airtime.
We need to fill airtime. So, here's your question for this week. What do you guys want for dinner when you guys get back?
Shane, you first.
What do you want me to make you guys?
Sushi.
You want me to make you sushi? The guy who's never had sushi before.
You've never had sushi before?
I've never had sushi before, and you want me to make you sushi? This sounds like the worst idea ever.
Yeah, because I'm 100% serious. You've never had sushi?
I've never had sushi before.
Wow.
I was gonna have it over. You know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna go into that.
Okay.
Anyways.
That is.
It's overrated.
Yeah, it is. I just.
Young boy better.
Just wanted to give him something that would be funny to see him try to make.
I wanted an actual suggestion here, Shane.
Here, I got you.
Yeah.
Here we go. I want some homemade spicy chicken nuggets.
Spicy chicken nuggets. I got you.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay.
Like not from a bag, like homemade, like bread that shit and fry it.
Okay. Fry it. Okay.
Or not fry it, but do what you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll put something together. I got you.
That doesn't seem too hard, you know?
No, yeah, it's not that hard.
Do I have to cut the potatoes and the French fries too? Is that?
No, you don't have to do
Okay.
that.
No.
I'll make you a frosty. It'll just be like Wendy's. I'm always going to Wendy's.
Just go into Wendy's.
It's gonna put it on the oven. It's like, oh, they're finished.
Yeah. You're gonna walk through the door. I'm gonna have them like baking or like not baking, but like in the oven, like just to stay warm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just like, never mind.
Just like what? Huh?
Just what, huh? What were you gonna say?
What were you gonna say?
Oh, I
Jim?
was gonna go on a bit about like just like put dishes up on the drying rack to be like, yo, yeah, I cooked all this.
Oh, yeah.
Just like make dishes dirty just to pretend
Yeah.
that you made stuff.
Oh,
Right,
I
just
mean,
don't
if-
wash dishes for 2 weeks, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of dishes, I had to empty the dishwasher last night because it had been done for 3 days.
Damn, let's go.
Because I ran it like as soon as Jeremy left.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much to me for tuning in to our YouTube live stream.
Yo, Jeremy, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah?
How does it feel to be wrong?
To be wrong? What do you mean? What was I wrong about?
You said Trailblazers better, and that's just inherently not true.
Well, Trailblazers better. It's true.
It's not true. They're 3 for their last 7. Oh wait. No,
Well, the
3 for
games
last 7.
aren't over yet. We still got time.
There's still a lot of season left.
Nope, the season actually ended today. New rule, new thing came out. Hayden's now the commissioner. That would be terrifying.
That would be
Imagine
terrifying.
me as the commissioner of your favorite team.
I'm good. I'll
I
pass.
would no, let's not get into that.
Okay then. That sounds like an excellent time to leave off
Yeah.
the show, guys, because I have family to see. I do actually. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to our special live stream on YouTube. It's been awesome. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for doing this for me on the holiday on such short notice. Happy Christmas. Merry Hanukkah. Goodbye.